Okay, yeah. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening for everybody that is watching our program now. This is Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. So this is a new update and new era. So it was I think you remember Jonathan wife, the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan wife, patient Jonathan. So it is he do wonderful things, he do wonderful things and he's talking wonderful. So he was supporting Emilio Khan. I don't know, maybe something don't enter her hand. You know that woman now, that woman who is like a selling fish, selling fish around the corner. So he's supporting Emilio Khan, he's supporting APC. Can you imagine that? It shock you? And that is how it shocked me too. So it's all shocking, shocking, shocking. So he was saying that they should vote for Tinubu, so they should support Tinubu. Imagine patient Jonathan, patient Jonathan. She don't come back again with her funny, funny story, funny, funny, drama. So I will play you the video. Before I do that, I just want to acknowledge my viewers, my fans. So like Charlie, Chris, you are welcome all the time. Frank, Ekenoba Ye. Sorry if I don't pronounce the name very well. Yeah, I can pronounce it Frank. So thank you. You are welcome to the platform. So and all the rest. So I thank you so much for supporting and leaving your comment. Your comment is so fantastic and so wonderful. So I love it and I love you all. So God will continue blessing you and blessing your whole. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So let's start from the patient. Mama patient, you don't come. You don't come with a funny. So he said they should support Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime. As things is falling apart now. So it is our own opinion that we should forget about what is going on and we should follow the wrong step. Okay, I will play you the video because without no evidence, no words. So you will hear from the source, the horse's mouth. So okay, let me just play you the video right away so we can move on. So it's from the morning show, from RS TV. Okay, so let's go. Good morning, Dr. Abasi. Good morning, original Ayo. And this is the original Rufai. Show up. Well, all right. Mischief is my name. As always. Yeah. Queen. So this is what is trending today in Nigeria. Good morning to you, viewers. Yeah. We'll begin what's trending with this detail. Former First Lady of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan, on Wednesday paid a courtesy visit to the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and pledged her unwavering support for the Tinubu administration. She also called on other Nigerian women to follow suit. I've come here to encourage you. See the woman, no? You because we are one funny country, woman, and our country must move forward. Social media woman. For the country to be better, because it's our country. We have no other country than Nigeria. We have no other place to go. We must support you. What happened to your voice, Mama? We must support you to make sure. Mama don't chop gari. You don't chop ogbono. Don't chop ECU. Look at how she's sticking. So how she's talking. Forward. And I use this opportunity also to lead. Yeah? Look at how this woman is. She's thinking about her own self. Yeah? Not others. And how she's talking. So when she's a first lady, the sky will be her limit. Because she don't meet her first lady. Meet Tinubu. She will move us forward. We Nigerian women, we should come out in mass and support. Welcome, Child Chris. And support her. Thank you for support. I've acknowledged you before. former principal. I mean, you know,
the former first lady.
A lot of favorable sound bites when she was first lady of Nigeria. But I mean, I think that she's quite apt about women empowerment and support for women. Yes, and I think that, you know, she also stated that she's not surprised that
yes, I agree with you 100%.
Even before she became
Nigeria is not a country. That's all I know.
Both governors' wives, and she was,
and me too.
You know, her senior. And, you
I
know,
don't know about Nigeria.
This.
So ridiculous.
Women supporting women, one powerful
say
Remi
Tinubu is there, and that's Jonathan wife.
And she did mention a few facts that Her Excellency, Mrs. Remi Tinubu, is quite supportive of women. And in the last few days, we have seen her demonstrate that. We must give kudos. She hosted the female football, basketballers. She hosted the Nigerian Falcons. She has spoken out. But what I have to say, and I think that's quite instructive, actually, because I was going to mention here that in terms of there are a few things that we still want for women. One of the women we've celebrated recently was Her Excellency, the First Lady at the time, Mrs. Mira Babangida, with the renaming of the National Center for Women Development. And we talked about and extolled her virtue, especially in giving that hand to other women, especially rural women. We don't know if Mrs. Remi Tinubu will have a pet project, as we know with previous First Ladies, or what her key focus during her tenure would be. But what I'm looking forward to is this partnership, this camaraderie. I support it. I think it's beautiful to see women come together, and perhaps we'll teach politics politics in a different way for the men to follow. Rufai, you want to say something quickly?
See, when we see things that are good, let's give kudos. Today I want to give kudos to the First Lady Remi Tinubu.
Yes.
She's been able to harmonize all the former First Ladies, put them, give honor to whom honor is due, and she's done that in a strategic and methodic manner.
Yes.
So today, I give her kudos. I shower and comment on her. She's respected other people ahead of her.
Yes.
And then she's also walking her way gradually into the hearts of a lot of Nigerians. But what she's done with the Falcons and the Tigress, you know, and other female teams, which is strategic, which is very good. When I see things, I appreciate them.
Absolutely. Kudos. I know you wanted to mention, I wanted to mention the 7 female ministers. If we can pull up that GFX. We had the Minister of Art and Culture, Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa. A lot of people have said, okay, does she really fit that portfolio? But I think she does. I mean, she is a creative in her own right. And, you know, people talked about the fact that she, you know, it could have been somebody more in, you know, in the Nollywood industry. But we also had a Minister of Tourism. We have Minister Lola. You mentioned that. You said that she could have had a stronger portfolio. Excellent CV, excellent track record. Minister of Tourism, not this particular administration's focus, because we have an issue with insecurity. I don't know who you're going to be attracting to come and visit us when we haven't sorted out, you know, security. Yes. And so I thought her expertise and technical skills could have been better used, better placed. People have said it's an opportunity for her to really build that ministry. I hope she would. I believe she would. You know, she has. I do believe that she can handle almost any ministry, but I thought that perhaps she should have gotten something better suited to her expertise. Yeah, there might be some innovation there too. But there's also a Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Anete. There's also a Minister of State, Labor and Employment in Kiruka, Onye Hirocha. I mean, that was Festus Kiamo's position. Right? Yes, it was. Remember that we talked. She's Minister of State. Yeah, that is Festus Kiamo's position. And remember that Festus Kiamo had talked about, you know, stopping out Minister of State. So a number of them. Yes, and we see it here. It didn't happen. We also see Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, the dancing minister. The only female presidential candidate from the APC. From the APC. Minister. Then there's also Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Elevation. We thought Better Edu would have been Minister of Health. Well, Minister of State for Health, because Professor Ali Pate is there. So we looked at the fact that maybe, but to be fair, I do think, because she's the immediate past national women's leader of the APC. She was a former commissioner for health in Cross River State. And so in terms of being able to manage that, I think it's quite a sensitive ministry, especially with regards to removal of fuel subsidy, palliatives, conditional cash transfers, and hopefully she'll do a better job than we had in previous. And I believe last but not the least, Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory Mariga Mahmood. So FCT now has a governor and deputy governor. We have a governor and deputy governor. FCT is such a large state now. I mean, I hope, there's also that conversation which leads me to my next story about Governor Wike. There are some controversial ministers. Meanwhile, the cabinet portfolio released by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, on Wednesday has generated major reactions on social media. Top on the list is the appointment of former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, as minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Wike is the second southerner to head the FCT after Ajase Ajogun, who was appointed in 1976. Another controversial appointment was that of former Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, who was appointed Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development. And finally, a surprise to many, Dele Alake, who was former spokesman to the president, now appointed as Minister of Solid Minerals Development. Well, let's take some reactions on X. This is from Daniel Rega. He says, Tinubu is appointing Festus Keyamo as aviation minister. With what qualification or experience, please? Many of the nominees aren't qualified for their positions, but that of Festus and Wike as FCT minister are laughable. Nepotism seems to be the new politics in Nigeria. What a shame. Another Twitter user there, New Nigeria, wrote, Dele Alake, Tinubu's right-hand man, going to the Ministry of Solid Minerals is the most interesting thing about the full list. I bet my money that the game here is coal. I mean, New Nigeria, I don't know if it's just coal. There's a lot of minerals that are out there. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very good. Let's start with the ladies. We said it was a good thing when initially President Tinubu announced, names of women ministers, and we thought you would be able to meet that target of 35% affirmative action. But what we have here is 19%, more or less, because the women were supposed to be about 8. Stella Okotete, our confirmation was without. We don't know whether she was came through at the end of the day. But if you look at the distribution of the ministries, now, yes, some people have said Anna Tumusawa is not a good fit for.
Sorry, guys.
Creative economy, right? Art and culture and creative economy. But look, a ministry is as strong as the president decides to make it.
Absolutely.
She's a lawyer. If she has the support of the president, there's a lot that she can do. And many of these ministers will be able to perform if you give them KPI. Key performance indicators. We should emphasize that. It's not just about title. It's about what the key performance indicators are. And there's a lot that can be done in art and culture and, creative economy in terms of providing a more enabling environment for Nollywood. Under President Jonathan, that was a special focus area, and the government concentrated on art and culture. And we were able to make a lot of progress there. Particularly at that time, Nollywood contributed so much to GDP. Now, secondly, Lola Adejon has been made Minister of Tourism. When we had Sam Amadi earlier on, he was saying he doesn't think tourism should be prioritized. But you have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
There are tourism potentials in this country. It's just that they have not been properly harnessed. Yes, our background may be in technology, and all of that. But, who says she cannot surprise us? Now, Betta Edu, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. The name of that ministry used to be Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development or something, or whatever. But now they have specifically focused on poverty alleviation. That's a major responsibility. And she's a Malabress. Come to think of it. We are everywhere.
Doing well.
We are everywhere.
Doing well.
And then, of course, you have Kiru Karyeji Ocha, made Minister of State. I thought, given her capacity, and her exposure, experience as a lawmaker for so many years, that maybe she could be given something more substantial. But, in that position, I believe she would do well. And then, of course, Women Affairs, who is in that Uju Kennedy. Kennedy, I believe she will do well there. But we would like to see more women, female ministers.
Yeah.
Now, as for the others, Wike, Minister of the FCT, Well, it's a very strategic appointment, and I hope that people say why are they giving him minister of the SCT? No, that's totally beside the point. What that office requires is managerial capacity. Whatever you may say about Wiki, he has been in this territory for a long time. I think he started as a local government chairman or as a local government councillor, became chief of staff, became commissioner, became minister, became governor, and all of that. So he has substantial experience. Yeah. You may not like his style, but he has, relevant experience. Festus Keyamo, aviation minister and aerospace development. That's another ministry they changed the name. Okay, what is the complaint about? Festus Keyamo is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He's a lawyer. He's not the first lawyer that will Minister of Aviation. Femi Fani-Kayode was there. He was a lawyer, okay? And he too has had, very good exposure in different capacities. The question is, what are the KPIs? How will he perform? So I keep stressing this KPI because some people go, they make them ministers, they don't even know what the portfolio is all about. I've had a minister coming to me and say, hey, Agati, this ministry your God gave me, what is in this ministry? But after about 2-3 years, the same man was doing like this all over the corridor, asserting himself. I said, look at this one. The day we announced the portfolio, you didn't even know what the portfolio they gave you was all about. So it's important to have the KPI. Yes, Mr. Dilalake, I'm a bit surprised that it was solid minerals. I thought it was going to be given information, communications, and strategy.
Everyone thought so, yeah.
It's a natural territory, but it may well surprise us.
Right.
But it is about what the president wants him to achieve there. Right. After all, we have had other people in solid minerals that were not necessarily in that.
Okay, guys. Yeah, so we will stop this video now. So I would like to play another one. Another one that is trading. So this is all about the ministry and appointment, all about the wuru they do, on the election day. And this is what they got for their own participant in the fraudulent thing. So anyway, we don't know when the tribunal court will end. We are still open, we are still open as the last hope of the common man. So let's keep on open to God. God will change the statistics and the what they have in the plan, in their own plan. I know God will eventually change it for them. So anyway, allow me to play this video. This one is about the Tinubu case, so we need to talk about it because this one is a heavy one, a case in court. It's not a joke. It's not something that you can joke with. So we need to see the end of the ruling. The justice must prevail. That's what we are saying. The justice must take its course. It must prevail in our judiciary system. So let's hear from our correspondent. So okay, I hope my Bluetooth is on. Okay, you are standby for working. So okay, let me put it on. Let's go.
E don set court. They don finally fix August 23rd as the deadline for President Tinubu to defend why he refused to present the document to Atiku Abubakar. As na all know, Atiku Abubakar say make Tinubu come defend the result because it's in Chicago University now he go. Now Tinubu refused to defend the results. Now court they don fix August 23rd. Say na be the deadline for her to come defend her. Now the court they don't admit. They say they detect fake Chicago.
The documents include court has admitted certified
meter. We gonna watch the full video and we gonna share am.
Counsel to INEC Abubakar. The documents include a BSc certificate from the Chicago State University, NYSC discharge certificate, and Mobile Nigeria Oil PLC certificate of service. The PDP had brought the documents through their subpoenaed witness, Mike Enahoro Eba, who is a private legal practitioner. He notes that the documents were purportedly obtained by Tinubu but bore the name Bola Adekunle Tinubu, led in evidence by the lead counsel to PDP, Chris Uche.
Sorry, let me
the witness
put it
also
back
tendered forms. The documents include a BSc certificate from the Chicago State University, NYSC discharge certificate, and Mobile Nigeria Oil PLC certificate of service. The PDP had brought the documents through their subpoenaed witness, Mike Enahoro Eba, who is a private legal practitioner. He notes that the documents were purportedly obtained by Tinubu but bore the name Bola Adekunle Tinubu, led in evidence by the lead counsel.
Who is Bola Adekunle Tinubu?
The witness also tendered forms EC13 and EC9 nomination forms and the letters written to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as attachments. Counsel to INEC, Abubakar Mahmoud.
Who is Bola Adekunle Tinubu?
Ukala,
Latif
Fagbemi, all objected to the admissibility of the
you don't scatter the
lead counsel to
the forest.
To tender these documents, and
you
all the
scatter.
objected to the admissibility of the documents. The witness also tendered academic records from Chicago University, a copy of the subpoena served on the Chicago University, the original academic records and degree certificate, original admission letter, original transcript from Southwest College to the school Tinubu attended, given to Chicago University, with the gender referred to as female. He also tendered notarized judgment of USA for criminal forfeiture of assets of Tinubu and the cover note authorizing it. Also, an extract of Guinea passport and the certificate of compliance for Tinubu.
Despite the fact that all parties have closed their cases at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of the PDP, is still making moves in the United States to unearth the real records of Tinubu at the Chicago State University. Remember that Tinubu's counsel tendered his Chicago State University records in evidence, but Atiku is not satisfied with it. That's why he made this new court filing in the United States through his counsel, Angela Louis. Atiku is seeking new documents from Chicago State University under subpoena. Atiku wants the court to give him record of Tinubu's admission and acceptance in the university, his dates of attendance, and the degrees and awards he obtained from the university. Atiku told the court that he wants to test the truth and veracity of Tinubu's assertions at the court in Nigeria, that he wants to verify the authenticity of the documents that Tinubu submitted before contesting for the presidential election. This seems very straightforward. Anyone that has nothing to hide will not object to providing more information to prove that actually what he submitted were the correct documents. It's not hidden that it was him that actually attended the Chicago State University in the 70s. Even if the university has an obligation to inform Tinubu before furnishing Atiku the documents, if Tinubu has nothing to hide, he wouldn't object. Although in this case, being under subpoena, the university doesn't need his approval before they comply with the subpoena. So one would expect that it should be simple. You submitted documents. I want to verify if truly these documents aren't forged, that they came from Chicago State University. And the normal process, the person goes to court to subpoena the university to provide the documents. At this stage, Atiku should get the documents, right?
Yeah.
No. Tinubu doesn't want him to get those documents because definitely he has something to hide.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't have anything to hide, why did he hire an attorney to block the subpoena? Yes, we'll get back to what the attorney told the court. The revelation about the gender of the Bola Tinubu that was admitted to Chicago State University in the 70s was made many months ago by Nigerian investigative journalist David Hundeyin. This was before the presidential election. So Atiku should have capitalized on this, got all the information he needed, just like Labour Party did. It's just like Labour Party aren't focusing on his university records. They're only focusing on the narcotics proceeds forfeiture he made, the $460,000 he forfeited to the US government. So they got all the information they needed, the judgment, every document relating to the forfeiture. They assembled everything, kept it down, waiting for the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to start so that they will use it to nullify his candidacy. Atiku should have done the same thing. He should have gotten all the information through subpoena should have gotten the records, because the university can't say the records they gave David Hundeyin will be different from the one they will give Atiku.
Exactly.
That's not possible. He should have gotten all these. If he had tendered all these, there will be no way for Tinubu's legal team to counter them. Just like his Guinean passport, Atiku also brought that to court. They should have sent someone to Guinea. How much will it cost them to go to Guinea and obtain all the records, notarize them, make everything official? His ally is no longer the president of Guinea, so it should have been easy for them to get everything they need from that country, so that when they tender them, no one can say, this was downloaded from the internet, this is hearsay. They will just knock it off based on technicality.
It's true.
But when you do everything the way it's supposed to be done,
because they are not
that
prepared.
The documents came from the government of Guinea, which will prove that it is real.
They are not.
That it wasn't just downloaded from the internet, that the passport actually exists. With that, no one can prove you wrong, and the court will establish that indeed Tinubu lied in his INEC form, that he had no other nationality apart from Nigerian nationality, which of course you know what it means. If that is established, that will amount to instant disqualification.
Exactly. Because they are not
now,
planning.
Let's see how
they are
Tinubu
not planning their case very well.
Subpoena
That's
through
why.
His counsel, Victor Henderson. He told the court to strike off Atiku's request because no court heard and granted the order that based on Rules 219 and 137 of the Illinois Supreme Court rules, Atiku's petition was invalid because they gave only 6 days for compliance instead of the normal 14 days. In this case, what happens? Because obviously Tinubu's attorney is looking at technicality. They don't want to comply with the subpoena. If they have these records already with the university, they can supply the information needed under 2 days, not to talk of the 6 days. And will the judge agree with them, the judge can simply extend the days to meet up with the rules that he complained about. Since they gave 6 days and it is less than the 14 days mandatory, the judge should just extend it so that we will see the truth. Although the truth is already known, but in this case, let it be the candidate in the presidential election that is obtaining the information from the Chicago State University himself. Even if Atiku can no longer tender the evidence in court because all parties have closed their cases, but it will still serve as a reminder to Nigerians that truly the claims that Tinubu made in his INEC forms were false statements. It's a pity that Chicago State University seems to be helping Tinubu to conceal the information, because if they have these records, why is it taking them time to supply them to Atiku? It's simple. We want to know who this guy is, because the first information that came out from the university when the David Hundeyin made the request showed that the person called Bola Tinubu that was admitted to university had a female gender. And we know that that's not the Bola Tinubu we know today. So it's simple. Let Nigerians know the truth. If someone wants to serve people, the people that he wants to serve deserve the right to know who the person truly is. They deserve the right to know his date of birth. They deserve the right to know his childhood friends, how he grew up, all his history, like other past presidents. The more he continues to hide information, the more it arouses curiosity. Why not just come out clean? Tell us so that we can stop. Because if he refuses to tell us, people will continue to dig. They will continue to dig into his past to know truly who this man is, what he did in the past. You know, a lot of information.
It's true.
One last thing to know is that in the eyes of the law, when a party is blocking evidence, they are suppressing evidence, they don't want people to see the evidence, the court will now become prejudicial. They will assume with prejudice that the information the person is hiding will be injurious to the person. For instance, INEC, they dodged subpoena. They refused to deliver all the documents required of them, despite a court order. On the other hand, they have come to court in one of their replies. They said that Labour Party failed to prove that they won the election. So truly, they suppressed information, they refused to provide evidence despite a court order, and now turns around and say, the person couldn't prove his case. So they are just playing the court, playing with the laws, feeling that nothing will happen, no consequence, that they will get away with it. That's why a lot of amendments to the Electoral Act are needed going forward. Not just to change how we conduct the election, but also to give more powers to the election tribunals. Because how can they give an order, issue a subpoena to someone and the person refuses, they can't do anything. The court even goes to the level of giving excuses for them that the subpoena should have been served on resident electoral commissioners, not the headquarters or whatever they meant. But it shouldn't be so. INEC is one entity. When a subpoena is served on them, they should be able to get to the location where the materials are. If they are demanding documents from Sokoto, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Borno State, they should be able to get it. It's one entity, it's one institution.
Exactly.
So we'll keep you updated on the latest move by Atiku Abubakar to find the truth in faraway United States of America. Whether the court agrees with Tinubu's attorney to strike off Atiku's petition, or whether the judge will extend the days for compliance. Thanks for watching.
Okay, guys. Yeah, so please, you can put your comment below what you think about the video that we are playing to you. So leave your comment. You are welcome. So let me play you the final video. You know, all this thing is pertaining to the topic we are talking about. It's about fraudulence.
Guys, it has been clear that this present government has nothing to offer Nigerians.
Yes, I understand what the president. If they release one, I saw one. What that means?
Sorry, guys, it's not this one. Okay, let me go to. Sorry, so I make a mistake on the video. So the one I want to play you is on YouTube. Sorry guys, please hold on a minute. So we're about to reach there. You see, when people they are doing wrong thing, we need to tell them what they are doing, because it's going to affect all. It's definitely going to affect all peoples around them. So okay, I will play you the nominees, because the nominees that this man made, he made is one of his lawyer that is defending him. That is Bola Tinubu. They are defending their case on the election petition. So he nominate this guy as the top justice in the country. It shocked you. It shocked me too. So let's listen to what is going on in the video. So it is not only me gonna hear this one. So let everybody hear it. See, it's all of shocking.
President Tinubu has nominated the lead counsel for the APC as the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice.
See.
This came as a shock. Don't forget that he is the lead counsel at the tribunal for the APC.
Look at the man they elected.
He is the Minister of Justice. And
this man is a lawyer that is defending the criminal.
How is this going to affect the final tribunal ruling?
The lawyer that is affecting
justice
is
for Peter Obi's petition
against
even at the Supreme Court.
Good ruling party.
Things are looking good for Mr.
Defending
Peter
the criminals,
knowing the power that the Attorney General wields over the judges.
Attorney General.
Let's take a look at some of the predictions that Dr. Etel made before now.
These people are very, very, very strategic.
See.
It's just that unfortunately, their strategy.
Look at the man they elected as the Attorney General of the whole federal.
Is a strategy for
country,
themselves.
The whole Nigeria.
Is a strategy
that criminal for that matter.
And their cronies. It's not a strategy to benefit Nigeria. And how do I mean? When I saw this, especially when I heard about the name Lateef Fagbemi, my heart skipped, and I am like, what are we expecting?
A criminal.
The president had to pull the person who is, I think,
because they are doing their mago.
The chief counsel of APC.
They want to remain in power.
Because the other guy, is his chief counsel of himself. So, but they are together because eventually their final address, APC and the presidential candidate of APC, they wrote and they submitted one final address. And this is a case we know that will get to the Supreme Court. Midway, he pulled out one of the chief counsel that is representing him in a presidential election petition tribunal.
You listen. You hear that? You hear that? That's a point. The person that is defending him in a criminal court, in a tribunal, election petition, the person that is defending him as a lawyer is the one appointing as the whole justice, chief of justice. Chief of justice, the powerful place in our judiciary system, the strongest powerful place that he gave to the criminal. The criminal is defending criminal. So that's how he shocked everybody. So continue listening.
They disqualify him, or he is the head, the chief counsel of APC.
The chief counsel.
Because
and a lawyer
guy,
to the Tinubu administration.
His chief counsel of himself. So, but they are together because eventually their final address, APC and the presidential candidate of
just
APC,
the listening, attentive, just listen to the video and make your comment. You are the judge.
We know that will get to the Supreme Court. Midway, he pulled out one of the chief counsel that is representing him in a presidential election petition tribunal that may disqualify him or remove him or annul the election. And he wants to make him a minister. What is going through your mind? Or is our mind thinking alike?
What is going through my whole mind
is our potential
totally charade.
Justice.
This is totally nonsense.
Under his office, the National
absolutely nonsense.
Budget will be passed. Under his office,
they are playing a dirty game.
The Minister of Defense,
the most dangerous game
who presents the budget for the army, the budget for the Air Force, and the budget for this thing, for the Navy. So the Minister of Justice and Attorney General and Minister of Justice in Nigeria is a very powerful person.
Very powerful place.
You will
very
know
powerful
the
position.
Minister of Justice and Attorney
very
General.
Very powerful.
You know
how Minister of
during
Justice.
This time in the first tenure of Buhari,
so close.
Judges' houses were being raided at night by DSS. They work together. You know how the former Chief Justice of the Federation was roped into one.
Thank you for watching. Thank you. God will bless you.
He did not declare his
our
assets.
program. Let it go viral.
Now,
let it go around.
What signal will this send to the judiciary? Especially given that we are expecting that the judgment of the presidential election petition court, which is the appeal court, will be coming out maybe sometime ending of August or early September. By that time, all these offices would have been allocated.
You hear that?
What do we think that the Supreme Court judges?
You hear that?
How confident do you think that they will have to administer when
the most valuable post
fighting to make sure that the commander-in-chief was not removed from power becomes Attorney General? I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking because the chairman or the president of the National Judicial Council, which is the Chief Justice of the Federation, will submit his budget to his office. He will clear it and forward it to the president.
Exactly.
He can punish the judiciary. He can withdraw their budget. He can use direct and indirect means to punish the judiciary. So now, if a man like him becomes the Attorney General and Minister of Justice,
a rogue.
It is an indirect threat.
A rogue for that matter.
A body language, a signal, a strategic signal to the judiciary. Shape up or shape out. I'm just thinking. These are the possibilities. These are the possibilities of what is capable of happening.
Nigeria is sitting on the gun.
Strategic. They know what they're doing.
Powder. It's a gun powder. Sorry, guys. Another disturbance.
And why we were on this program yesterday, you remember, not even yesterday, almost all through this week, I keep saying that I am no longer thinking about the appeal court. You notice I've been talking about Supreme Court, Supreme Court, Supreme Court. Now we may be talking about the appeal
Nigeria
court.
Nigeria is a dangerous place.
But these guys are already shaping the Supreme Court.
It's on the gunpowder, ready to explode any moment.
When an appeal is made to the Supreme Court, that officially the Chief Justice of the Federation will now nominate people who will be on the panel. Is it possible that if a man like this is made the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, I hope you know that he's going to be on a direct communication with the Chief Justice all the time. Officially, he will be in direct communication.
And they will do a lot of disaster.
He's capable of suggesting to the Chief Justice the people who will be on the panel, even though the Chief Justice will not admit it. But we know what happens in grapevine kind of communication. Do you not think that he'll have a direct access to go and have a meeting with the Chief Justice of the Federation?
Yeah,
or the Chief Justice of the Federation coming to have a meeting with him. And even after all the recordings are done, there's going to be a secret meeting, meeting where the press will not be there, where he will say,
possibility.
Remember, this is what Oga wants. This is what Oga wants. We don't want this person in this panel. We want the other person in this panel. We know that this person is radical. Even if you put a gun on his head, he will do what he wants to do. We don't want him on the panel.
For me, I'm actually very surprised because I'm beginning to think if he becomes maybe the Minister of Justice of Nigeria, will he still continue as one of APC's lawyers or as the lead counsel of APC in the ongoing petition? Will he still continue serving as that if he becomes
they will do everything possibility. They will do everything possible in their way.
As the lead counsel.
They will get away with the crime because they are a bunch of criminals.
But I think
who is not abiding by the rules of law.
Informally, it even makes it more damaging.
Yeah.
He will continue informally because now he has access to state resources, but he has intentions that will jeopardize the neutrality and the objectivity of the judiciary. So that's what we call a compromising situation, isn't
it? Very dangerous
That's what
situation.
we call a compromising situation.
Yeah, compromising.
So this is one of the reasons why Nigerians were like, they should kind of conclude everything that has to do with the judiciary before the swearing in. Yeah. Because we know that these tendencies are always there, especially in a corrupt nation like Nigeria. You know, you can't allow things like this, all these tendencies. They will always be there. Yeah. And we just pray because Peter Obi has always talked about building strong institutions that even the president will not be able to influence easily. And I just pray that opportunity will come. So talking about the judiciary, we have these lawyers that are dragging the NBA president because of
President Buhari was replacing the list of INEC commissioners who retired. You remember that there was civil society went to court and even went to the Senate hearing to say some members of APC were in that list. Adamantly, they were confirmed by APC majority Senate. One of them I can remember is the commissioner in charge of, the person who is in charge of Imo State. And you can see how the election went. All those people that were planted, APC people that were planted as INEC commissioners, you see how the